Well, the truth is that we didn't measure the effect for a very long time. We didn't know how to. It's a complicated question. We felt it was working, but it was hard to quantify in numbers or qualify in stories. And you can ask people, but to do any really rigorous analysis, we just didn't know how to do it. And then in November of 2008, we did a major survey of all of our members, and we had about 80 people respond. They spent up to 2 hours on the survey. We collected thousands of comments, and we organized the impacts into 6 main impacts. And so the book that we've just released, so I won't go into it because you can access the book, but the book details the statistics that we gathered around these 6 impacts, and then it also tells a story of a group that had a difference because of it. But that's only one survey, so there's all sorts of different changes in impacts. There's collaborations and new projects that are emerging here all the time, but it's very difficult for us to capture it in a formal way. So we hear about it, we know about it, but it's very difficult to build in a natural way of doing data collection without just feeling like you're imposing a survey on people. And so we struggle. It's one of the big challenges, is to understand our impact and to collect data about the community. We don't want to, we don't want this to be a lab that is so self-reflexive that we're always analyzing what we're doing. We just want to do what we're doing. But the other part is, if I ask them to complete a survey every month or every 2 months, they're going to start resenting us for trying to ask for this, and they're going to not complete it. So we have to play a delicate role. We don't, on the very strict legal terms, we're just a landlord. So we don't tell them what to do, we can't, so it's all about the goodwill that we create that allows this space to become, to feel like a community. And so that's fragile. We don't want to be controlling or demanding about what we do. We really need it to feel natural. We run this organization very professionally, and so that's easier for us than it is to tell the stories of the social change. That's a little bit more vague and difficult to capture. But financially, we have very clear, we know our cash flow, we know our budgets, we know our annual history, we know how much we generate here and on the first floor, and all of this. We've done quite a lot of analysis. One of our sayings, which you may have read in the books, is that a good shared space, it takes equal parts administration and animation. So half of the time we're focused on operations and running a very successful, smooth organization, and the other half is about the spirit and the life and the connections that we try to breed. And so we try to have both hands serving those roles.
And it's the spirit thing that is hard to measure, you could say.
Yeah. Very hard to measure, exactly. And it's also the hardest part to communicate to people who haven't been to this space. So many people will see the website and I have many friends who still don't understand really what I do. So, but when you come into the space, you say, oh, okay, I get it, oh, okay, so all these people, they're working, okay, so I understand. But I can spend a half an hour talking to explain it, and you won't understand as quickly as if you just spend 1 minute on the 4th floor. And it's a challenge for us to communicate effectively. These 3 books that we've created are the first publications that we feel do a good job of communicating who we are. Still not as good as being here, but a pretty good job in terms of the visual impact of the books and